Let's say we have a charged body sphere and say it's carrying a positive charge. Now in the region around this sphere there will be an electric field. Or if you consider say a wire, a thin wire, and it has some charge on it. Could be positive, could be negative. So in the region around the wire, you know that an electric field is present. Now let us define this electric field. See, say you have an hot object. Let's say that we have a candle over here which is burning, and you know that in the region around this candle there is a variation in the temperature. So you can say that it has a temperature field. And you also know that this temperature is a scalar quantity. Now, can we define something similar for an electric charge? See, the difficult part is how do we detect the presence of an electric field? We know that there is an electric field around this charge, but how can we measure it? You would suggest that you place a charge, say Q0 over here, and measure the force that the charge experiences. Say for this charged rod, we place a charge Q0 over here and we measure the force. Now, the electric field is defined as the force which this charged body experiences divided by the charge Q0. See, at times you tend to get confused whether you should divide this force by this charge Q0 or by this charge Q that is producing the field at this point. See, one way of looking at it is the expression for the force is going to have both this charge Q as well as Q0 in it. Now, if you are going to divide the expression for the force by Q0, that means you are getting rid of Q0 and you are left with Q, and it seems to make sense that the electric field depends on the charge Q which is present. You can see that if you divide this expression for Q0 by Q, that means you're going to get rid of Q itself. So the electric field at the point P depends on the charge which you're placing over there to measure the electric field, and this certainly doesn't make sense. So the electric field is always obtained by dividing the force experienced by a test charge placed over there divided by the test charge itself. Now I'm sure this is something that must be bothering you too, that if you're placing a charge Q0 over here, then and if this charge is exerting a force on the charged body which is producing the electric field, then can the charges not shift, particularly if this is a conductor, which means that when we place the charge Q0, the electric field can change. So to overcome that difficulty, we want to make Q0 as small as possible. So it has to tend to 0, because if it is 0, then the value of the force will become 0. So now we will define the electric field as taken in the limit when the test charge, which is a single point charge, and this is assumed to be positive. So when the test charge tends to 0, the force divided by the test charge, and this is how we finally define the electric field. Okay, now next let us take a look at the direction of the electric field. See, force is a vector quantity and you know that charge is a scalar quantity. So the electric field is going to be a vector quantity, and the direction of the electric field is given by the direction of the force. See, interestingly, this expression for the electric field can be used in both ways. One is to find the electric field using the force on a charged particle, and the other is to find the force on a charged particle when it is placed in an electric field. See, this seems obvious when you look at this formula, but this has an important application. Say you have an electric field in a region which is produced by some charges. This is an electric field, and we place a positive charge over here in this field. Now, the charged particle is going to experience a force, and it will move in the direction of the electric field. Instead of a positive charge, if you had a negative charge, which is given by negative Q naught, then it will move in a direction opposite to the electric field, because the charge has a negative sign. So in that case, the direction of the force is opposite to that of the electric field. This means we are using the formula for the electric field as force is equal to Q times E. We'll briefly summarize what we've learned so far. Electric field is a vector quantity. It is the force per unit charge exerted on a test charge at any point, provided the test charge is so small that it does not disturb the charges that produce the field. The electric field is given by force per unit charge taken in the limit the charge tending to 0. The SI unit of electric field is Newton per Coulomb. The force on a positive charge is in the direction of the electric field, and the force on a negative charge is in a direction opposite to the electric field. Now we are going to use what we've learned so far to find out the electric field due to a point charge. Let's say we have a point charge Q over here, which is a positive charge, and we want to find the electric field over here at a point P, which is at a distance r from it. So now the first step we know is we need to place a test charge Q naught at the point P. Now we place a test charge Q naught over here, and we measure the force on the charge, and let's say the force is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught over r square. We've applied Coulomb's law. Now the field over here is given by the force experienced by the charge divided by the test charge Q naught. So the electric field, the magnitude of the electric field is going to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which is often written as abbreviated as K, times Q by r square. This is the electric field due to a single point charge. The direction of the electric field is going to be along the line joining these two charges, and since this charge is positive, the electric field will be outwards, or it has its tail lying at Q naught, and the direction is along the line joining the two charges but away from the positive charge. Had this charge been negative, then the electric field at a point, say over here, would be again along the line joining these two charges, but the field would be inwards. A uniform electric field exists in a certain region of space, and an electron and a proton are placed in this electric field of magnitude 2 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. You have to find the force. When you give the direction of the force, don't forget to mention the direction in which the force acts.